So let's just start with some deep breaths together. Breathe deeply. Notice how your chest expands, how air travels through you, how the body seems to respond to the simple act of awareness. Every thought, every emotion, every memory has a footprint not only in the mind, but also in the flesh. There is no clear boundary separating them. Psychosomatics, when observed through the lens of behavioral neuroscience, reveals this truth. What we call the mind and what we call the body are two faces of the same system, constantly predicting, adjusting, and shaping each other. Your body contains multiple interacting orchestras of organs, cells, molecules, all working in concert. The lungs, the heart, the gut, the muscles, the immune system, each section plays its part. The brain acts as a conductor, but it does not simply give orders. Signals travel both ways. Organs and tissues send constant feedback upward, while the brain sends predictions downward. The result is a dynamic negotiation. What you feel, what you interpret, and what you decide to do next. This negotiation is what we call interoception, the ability to sense the body from within. But sensing is not the same as interpreting correctly. A racing heart could mean you are anxious, or that you've had too much caffeine, or that you are excited. The brain does not wait passively for information. It bets, based on past experiences and expectations, on the most likely meaning. Sometimes the guess is right, sometimes it is not. And when it is wrong, when the brain insists on reading danger where there is none, psychosomatic symptoms arise. Consider how many people live inside bodies that feel constantly threatened. Their nervous systems are caught in a state of overprediction, anticipating catastrophe. This is not weakness, nor imagination. It is the biological cost of chronic stress. Neuroscience calls this allostatic load, the wear and tear that comes from emergency systems running as if the crisis never ends. The sympathetic nervous system, designed for fight or flight, becomes the default mode. Muscles remain tense, sleep becomes shallow, digestion slows, inflammation rises. Hormones fall out of balance. The body is not lying. It is adapting to a world that feels unsafe. Pain is perhaps the clearest example. Pain is not a simple reflex. It is an experience shaped by interpretation. Tissue sends signals, yes, but the brain decides how loud those signals will be, based on context, history, and prediction. This is why pain can persist long after an injury heals. The brain has learned to expect pain, and so it produces the experience, even with little or no input. In this sense, chronic pain is not imaginary, it is learned. What is learned can also be unlearned. Through gradual exposure, movement, breath, and new associations, the brain can be taught to reinterpret those signals to quiet the alarm. This same mechanism explains both placebo and nocebo. Expectation is not just psychological, it is physiological. Believing a treatment will work activates real healing systems in the body. Believing harm is coming prepares the body for harm. Meaning changes biology because meaning shapes predictions, and predictions guide how the body regulates itself. This is not pseudoscience. It is the brain doing what it always does, anticipating the future to protect you. The path forward, then, is interoceptive literacy. The ability to recognize and name what is happening inside. Many of us lack this skill. We confuse thirst with anxiety, sadness with fatigue, anger with hunger. Without vocabulary for the body, we are prisoners of vague discomfort. But when you learn to notice, label, and stay with sensations without judgment, you give the brain more precision. The fog of I feel bad transforms into clarity. I am tired. I'm tense. I am sad. I am safe. This simple act reduces anxiety because it brings accuracy to the prediction system. Psychosomatics, seen in this light, is not about blaming the mind for disease. It is about understanding the loops that connect life experiences with physical reality. Symptoms are not punishments. They are messages, signals of misalignment, quests for regulation, rest, boundaries, or connection. When you stop treating the body as a battlefield and start treating it as a messenger, healing becomes possible. Not as a miracle, but as a natural process of alignment between brain, body, and meaning. The promise here is not a life without pain or discomfort. No science, no therapy can offer that. The promise is a life with translation, a life in which your sensations stop being mysteries or enemies and start becoming guides. Learning to read your body is also learning to rewrite your story. You gain agency not by controlling everything, but by listening deeply, responding wisely, and giving meaning where before there was only confusion. So take a breath right now. Feel the air enter. Feel your body respond. This is where transformation begins, with awareness. Awareness that your thoughts are not just thoughts, and your body is not just matter. They're one system, predicting, adapting, and waiting for you to listen. And if this message speaks to you, share it. Someone else may need these words today. Join this journey, stay connected, and remember, awareness is always the first step to transformation. Science confirms what poets have known for millennia. The body keeps the score. Our physical health reflects our emotional and relational experiences. This is the core insight of psychosomatics, a field that explores the interplay between mind and body, particularly in the context of illness and healing. Illness, broadly defined, is not merely the malfunctioning of biological processes. It is an expression, a narrative written in the language of the body. Every symptom, every ache, every change in bodily function is a message, a plea, an attempt to restore balance and harmony. Understanding this perspective is key to transforming healthcare, to redefining wellness. Challenges the traditional biomedical model that isolates and compartmentalizes mind and body, viewing them as separate rather than interconnected. This model often leads to fragmented care, two treatments that address symptoms but not the underlying narratives of suffering. Imagine a patient consulting a doctor about persistent pain. The biomedical approach might focus on identifying the physical cause of the pain, prescribing medication to alleviate it, with little attention paid to the emotional or environmental factors contributing to the problem. In contrast, a psychosomatic approach would delve deeper, recognizing that pain is not just a physical sensation, but a lived experience colored by emotions, memories, and perceptions. It would consider how past traumas, current stressors, and even the patient's beliefs about their illness might be influencing the pain experience. In this narrative medicine model, the doctor becomes not just a diagnostician, but a storyteller, someone who listens to the patient's story, who weaves together the biological, psychological, and social aspects of their illness to create a comprehensive picture. Treatments are then tailored, not just to the physical symptoms, but to the whole person, addressing the unique narrative of their illness. This shift in perspective is not just theoretical. It has profound implications for practice. By integrating mind and body, this approach enhances the doctor-patient relationship, fostering trust, empathy, and shared decision-making. It also encourages patients to become active participants in their own healing, to recognize that they have the power to shape their health outcomes. It acknowledges the role of lifestyle, environment, and social support in maintaining health, moving away from the notion of illness as something to be cured towards a vision of wellness that encompasses physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Embracing this perspective is not easy. It challenges the traditional roles and training of medical professionals, requires a fundamental rethinking of how we structure healthcare systems and deliver medical education. But the potential benefits are immense. It offers a path to more effective, compassionate, and personalized care, one that honors the complexity of the human experience. Ultimately, it is a vision of health that recognizes we are not just bodies to be fixed, but whole persons with stories to be understood. Narratives that, when properly heard, can guide us back to wholeness.